Good morning, everyone. Have you ever been injured at work? Well, I have an uncle who broke his toe at an Amazon warehouse and as a result was fired due to needing extended time off. The reason, this was due to the amount of infection and improper diabetes type 1 care. The prices of insulin just defeated him, and he simply couldn't afford it. Sadly, there are thousands of cases like his across America. And whenever people are being denied vital resources to their well-being, it's just heartbreaking, especially whenever it's due to their economic status. The American Diabetes Association accounts for 1.9 million people with type 1 diabetes, meaning that you're probably connected to someone with the disease. And in this day and age, we need to advocate for one another and fight for better conditions. And we need to help our friends, family, and loved ones lower the insulin prices. Let's stick it to high insulin prices. Today, let me show you all how insulin can affect families and their well-being on a personal level. And let me show you how you, I, and corporations can attack these problems one by one. So let's start. Although insulin was intended as just a quick, cheap fix for public health problems, it has become a financial burden to many. When I asked you all if the price of healthcare was too expensive, you all replied yes, and I agree. Diabetics sacrifice way too much for it to be something that they will need throughout the rest of their lives. In fact, an endocrinologist accounts that in the past few years, the price of insulin has become more than a casual interest, and it has become clear to me for the first time that the patients of mine are having difficulty affording their insulin. This same endocrinologist accounts for the fact that back in medical school, he was just writing about how the prices of insulin have been steadily increasing. In fact, it has gone from a mere $14 to a staggering $300. And furthermore, the lack of competition in insulin manufacturing drives up these prices greatly. In a large study conducted on insulin market prices, there is significant correlation found between the high insulin prices and the amount of competitors, meaning that if we increase the amount of competitors, the insulin prices will decrease, and there is plenty of room for competitors in the insulin market. Furthermore, the United States leads all other countries by a large margin in their insulin prices. Please see this graph provided to you by the RAND Corporation. In a separate article from the same company, Andrew Mulcahy writes that the U.S. has insulin prices that are 6 times greater than ones in Japan and are 9 times greater than the ones in the United Kingdom. And given that these countries are of similar economic status, it makes this evidence even more able to be taken into consideration. Furthermore, there have been an unforeseen consequence of the high insulin prices. In fact, John Wilkinson uncovers a plea made by the AMA to the Judicial and Federal Market Committee, asking them to please monitor the insulin prices. The AMA goes to state that these prices have actually affected taxpayers and had them pay a higher amount of taxes in the past few years. And people who do not want free or affordable healthcare in the country do so because they do not want to pay the price. Well, the AMA has shown that this statement truly is not true anymore. Now that we've examined some of the few problems caused by high insulin prices, let's look into the solutions. While we can't change the whole landscape of insulin prices in the U.S. today, We can do little things that will affect a better future. For example, even if you are 18 or under, you still have the power to make change in your community. And if you are 18 or under, you can write letters to your local representatives asking them to make the changes that you want to see in your community. If you are over 18, you have the important vote that you can use to implement your ideas into your community. In fact, there's actually a bill called the Affordable Insulin Now Act that is currently being passed through the government system. It has just passed the House of Representatives and is going into the Senate. This is where your vote matters. Having acts and bills like the Affordable Insulin Now Act can change the lives of families in the future. Notions like these will gain popularity and families will benefit immensely from it. And making change for the future is always important. Now that we look at these solutions, they do not seem so daunting. I want to leave you all, finally, with the need to make change. And today, we have seen the effects of high insulin prices on families. We have seen that it affects them on a personal level now and in the future. And although there are many affordable healthcare acts being put in place, there is still room to grow. That's why it is so important for you to vote who you want in office to make sure that they represent your beliefs. We are in an evolving world, and making sure that no one is left behind is of most importance. After all, healthcare is a right, not a privilege. I have given you all that you need to go do something in your community. And so now I ask you, what will you do to stick it to diabetes? Thank you.